Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. So this is now Saturday afternoon. So really about a half a day since the last video ended. Still sitting at the bench and still making trees for the NMRA James River Subdivision meet coming up on May 11th. So these are going to be the furnace filter trees. So same technique for construction. And again, I've got videos out there that show it, so I'm not going to do too much. But you can see this one is like 4 strands of the grapevine wire. One long one, kind of a 3/4, about half, about a quarter. This just makes thicker and bigger trees, good for HO scale, O scale. And you can see I've already put the toothpicks on the top. So what I do is I take some heat shrink tubing, cut it into about inch and a quarter, depends upon what I'm doing. Put super glue on the edge of the grapevine wire, and then put the heat shrink on it. Put some super glue on the end of the toothpick that I've cut. So these are toothpicks just sort of cut in half, double pointed ones. And put it in, and then used a old soldering gun, heated it up, and just heat shrunk, so that the super glue is going to do the work of holding it. The shrink tubing holds everything in place until the super glue sets. So next step is going to be to spread out some ground material, and then I will glue up each one of those. I'll wear gloves because I will get carpenter's glue all the way around it and then roll it in this stuff. And I'll have a trunk of a tree done. I've got a display base cut from some scrap pink foam board, so I'm going to do the same thing with these trees as like what I did with those trees. So here is the first. This one has been already glued up, so I'm just going to not do a single strand for that because I'm going to show the other ones first. This one's got a toothpick on it. The next one's going to show everything with the ground foam on it, and then I will start to do the progression of building the tree. So straightforward construction with these. So I'll come back here in a little bit and show you what I'm doing. Well, about 10 minutes has elapsed since the last video segment. So I used Gorilla carpenter's glue, coated the trunks thoroughly, not excessively, but thoroughly, made sure that I got glue pretty much everywhere, and then rolled it in the Woodland Scenics ground cover material. This is sort of earth color. I will let that dry thoroughly. I'll knock off anything that's loose, potentially go back in if I need to and add just a little bit more if it crumbles off in some spots, which is okay. You can see toothpick poking out in a few spots. Doesn't make any difference. It's not going to hurt anything. By the time I get the furnace filter material on and glued in place, everything painted, and then put on the materials, again, static grass, ground cover, you're not going to see that. It's all going to be hidden and blended away. So I'll just let this dry thoroughly, and then I will go on to the next steps. Well, early Sunday morning, and doing a little bit outside before heading off to do other things. So what I've been doing here is making up more, I guess I would call it tree blanks for the NMRA meet here in a couple of weeks. These I will take to the stage where they are almost finished, so that if anybody wants to grab one and do the Mod Podge on the tips and create a tree, they will be able to use these for that purpose. And I think I make 10 of these. So with the other blank that I've already got done, 11. And the trunks for the furnace filter trees are good. They're dry now. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 7 of those, and a couple more of those will go to make the demo trees. Product placement, haha, not. Anyway, I will show a little bit more as I get a little bit farther. I will get these to a near finish point and then turn my attention back to doing the demo couple for the furnace filter trees. Or actually, I think probably 3 of them to get to a finished product, but we'll see. So early Monday morning, and I have these dry, and I will come back in and do a little touch up in areas just to kind of build bulk or to hide some of the loops of wire. I don't have to do all of the tree again with the Mod Podge and ground cover, but I will be selective and do a little touch up in a few areas. And then I will put these aside and go back to those. So a little bit farther along, and I'll show you more here. you enjoyed some clips of trackage and buildings in and around the Washington, D.C. area. Had a work trip this week that took me up a little bit north of Philadelphia. So, as I always try to do, I took Amtrak up, had a nice ride, and got to see some cool things going through some of the hubs up there, in particular Washington. So I am back, and I am working on finishing up a couple of demo trees, probably 2 or 3 out of the longer trunks made out of grapevine wire. So I've spent a little while, and I've torn some furnace filter material that I had. You can see what I've got up here on my little demo rack. Just about 4 basic sizes, a little over 1 inch square, 1.5 inches, probably 2 inches, about 3 inches, about 4 inches. From that, I can peel off very thin sections, usually 3 to 4 pieces out of each one of those squares that are usable, and a little bit of stuff that's not usable as such, but they'll go at the tops of the trees. Then, as you've seen in other videos, I take these, I'll take a pair of scissors, get rid of the long strands, and kind of notch them in and around a little bit to give them a little bit of a branch type shape. A little later on in the process, I use the florist shears to really cut into these after I get them all done to give them a nice shape, and then be able to use some of that stuff for ground cover. So anyway, I'm going to get a couple of trees farther along here, and then show you a little bit more. About 15 minutes later, and I've got 2 trees assembled already. So first one, again, just shows the shredded furnace filter material glued onto the tree. I use super glue. Did have a viewer suggest maybe you could use hot glue. Probably can. A lot of different ways you can do this. I find super glue works really good because it soaks into both the trunk and the branches, so that when I'm doing the haircut, which comes a little later, I don't have stuff falling off, and you don't see it. So anyway, built the second one and spray painted it. So this is just a flat camouflage brown. You can use camo green, any color that you're interested in. Give a few squirts to the trunk, just darkens it up a little bit. I will build one more, and then that one will become the finished tree. I will take the next tree to this step, and then I can actually put the ground cover on the green, and then come back in with pine needles, the 2mm static grass, and put those on using hairspray. You could use can spray, contact spray. You can probably even use Mod Podge and paint it on. I just think it's easier and quicker to build using hairspray. So anyway, we'll show the finished product. And then this week I will make a few additional trunks so that I can take a good batch, because I only got a few, 5 left. I can do a little bit more, make another 5 or 6 so that I've got them. I can shred so people can assemble and at least get it to the next step, although these go together pretty quick. So anyway, show you when everything's finished here in just a little bit. So Friday after work, and I have the last 2 demo trees almost done. So going from putting the furnace filter material on, giving it the base coat of paint, to doing the flocking, putting on ground cover, and then 2mm static grass. You could use this one as it is for a background tree. It could add on a hill slope somewhere in there, but that's not where I like to leave it. So this next one is also at the same stage this one is. So this one will get the haircut, and that will be it then for the demo trees. So I will take this one to completely finished here in just a few minutes. Let everything dry a little bit before I get out the florist shears and cut the bejeebies out of it. All right, that's going to do it. You can see the difference on the tree on the right to the tree on the left. Definitely has more branch-like detail. The solid look of the furnace filter material is broken up, and I used my offcuts to add a little pile of undergrowth right beside the tree. So that is pretty much everything that I cut off the tree. So really a good product that once it's done to use to make little shrubs, thistles, nettles, whatever, under your forests or on the edge of it. So taking those all the way through the different steps in the process, you end up with a nice tree. So that's going to do it for this one. What I'm going to spend part of the weekend on is just making some more trunks, this type, and then cutting some furnace filter material so that I can use that in the clinic next weekend. So with that, keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.